What led to a shooting that claimed 6 lives. Metro Police tell me that the investigation into the Covenant School shooting remains open as they continue to review what is a significant amount of written material. They have not said if those writings will or will not ever be released, and there is no timetable for when that decision will be made. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
Nick, thank you. Metro Police are sharing the investigation with federal authorities. The killer's writings are also currently being evaluated by the FBI's Behavioral Analysis Unit.
The Tennessee Three, 700 miles away from the volunteer state tonight. President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris inviting the 3 Democrats from Tennessee's House to the White House to further discuss gun reform. Our 5 Alert anchor Hunter Hoagland's in the newsroom. And Hunter, I know we didn't get a lot out of the actual meeting, but they did hold a news conference, right?
Yeah, that just wrapped up not too long ago. And those 3 tonight telling reporters outside the White House that the key to transforming the nation is transforming the South, which they say starts with passing common sense gun laws right here in Tennessee. Now, cameras were only allowed inside that Oval Office less than 2 minutes. You're getting a look at that video right now. President Biden, he thanked the 3 for their work on the House floor and then touted gun legislation that he's worked on during his career. Justin Jones, Justin Pearson, and Gloria Johnson have been very vocal about the need for stronger gun laws following the Covenant School shooting. Not even a week ago, Jones carried an infant-sized casket, you're seeing it there, to the state capitol amid protesters calling for gun safety legislation. President Biden has already said there is nothing more he can do on his own, but says Congress needs to pass a ban on assault weapons. The trio says they are thankful the White House is on their side and hope Republicans in Tennessee will get on board.
A lot of this work has to happen at the state level. And the truth of the matter is the assaults on our democracy, the erosion of our democracy is happening at the state level. State legislatures being run as ours is by Cameron Sexton is much more like a mobocracy than a democracy.
Gloria Johnson says she feels like her Republican colleagues could get behind some sort of gun legislation, but it'll be about having courage to do so as they face mounting pressure from the NRA. The governor says he is planning to call a special session focused solely on public safety. So far, though, a date has not yet been set. At the Alert Desk, I'm Hunter Hoagland. Rory and Carrie, over to you.
Thanks, Hunter. Well, you've seen it before, but never like this. News Channel 5 Investigates is giving us an exclusive look from the top of Middle Point Landfill as they continue their legal battle with the City of Murfreesboro.
The landfill has been accused of contaminating waterways and stinking up much of Rutherford County for years. But now they've invited investigative reporter Levi Ismail to see it for himself. RTV cameras and Levi first to set foot on that landfill. What'd you notice?
You know, I could tell you first and foremost, for how massive this place is, we really don't know too much about the inner workings of this facility. And that's part of why we decided to be there, you know, just to see it for ourselves. And in the spirit of transparency, Middle Point agreed. Now, we're not landfill experts, but we had questions and took it right to the source.
If you've thrown anything away in Middle Tennessee,
this is where all of the trash is coming in every day.
There's a good chance we're now standing on it. Mike Klassen is the general manager of Middle Point Landfill, where it's not uncommon to see 4,000 tons of trash dumped here every day.
Really from all over Middle Tennessee, but primarily from Rutherford and Davidson counties.
What happens next is why we're here. The process from dumping trash to locking in the smell is something most people have not seen until now. Every layer of trash is followed by a layer of dirt. Between that and the cover we're standing on,
this is keeping landfill gas in and keeping liquid out.
Engineers then use these wells to suck out as much gas as possible. Think of a 180-foot-long straw with holes on the sides pulling gas through layers of trash.
This is the epicenter for where that gas is collected and destroyed.
Until now, much of what we've known about these flares burning off gases came from what we spotted across the river last April. Thermal imaging showed gases escaping, which one environmental attorney said if these stacks were working properly, this shouldn't be the case.
Those enclosed flares are supposed to be destroying all the gas, or at least 95%. But the footage shows that it doesn't look like they're even close to that.
So what is all that blowing away?
Legitimately, that's just heat, carbon dioxide, and water vapor.
I feel like some people get the impression that there's more happening off of these flares than the explanation that you just gave us.
Yeah. we're really trying to be active in getting the right information out there, getting the facts out to the people. That's why you see us doing things like this and being out a little more in a front-facing way.
An EPA report from 2021 appeared to agree with Klassen, claiming that what we saw were, quote, hydrocarbons. The EPA followed up by saying they don't believe any environmental laws were broken, but what about that smell? Some say what leaves these flares could be part of the problem. I'll say this, we stood close enough to touch the flares and spent nearly 3 hours on property, but could hardly smell a thing.
We're very proud of the progress we've made here, and I'm super happy that you're having that experience as well. That's what we see every day.
I feel like I wouldn't have believed it if I wasn't standing here.
Right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I do.
In no way was this meant to discredit the thousands of complaints from neighbors about a landfill smell, but Klassen says this is their money at work. They've invested more than $7 million over the last 2 years to improve gas collection from the landfill. Before that, our News Channel 5 investigation discovered at least 300 times since 2018, methane leaked from these wells, exceeding the EPA threshold for what's safe.
Reconciling those numbers with what we're experiencing here today, the feedback mechanism is working.
Middle Point registers only a fraction of exceedances compared to what we saw in those past few years. As for what else might be leaking from the landfill, we head to Bubba Spring.
That's one of a number of monitoring locations that we are required as the operator here to take samples of on a semi-annual basis.
The City of Murfreesboro is suing Middle Point, saying the landfill leaked chemicals into this spring, which feeds into the East Fork Stones River.
We let the facts speak for themselves in this case. We vehemently deny that, and we have the data to back us up.
State inspectors found no visible signs of leachate, which city attorneys say doesn't mean it's not there, citing their own data. Scanning the water ourselves, we spotted what resembled the same discolored water city attorneys pointed to in their lawsuit. We couldn't tell what it was, so we asked Klassen, and he explained it as typical pond scum.
You know, what we've said from the beginning is if there's a legitimate problem, like why was the phone never picked up to say, hey, we think something's going on here. We'd like to talk to you about it. We'd like to work together to come to a solution. That never happened.
Instead, Klassen and Middle Point face a lawsuit demanding they halt everything until they can fix the smell and whatever chemicals may be leaking. If it were up to him, focus would be on the future. Middle Point is permitted to stack trash another 80 feet in the air, but Klassen has other plans.
You'd rather build out and combine and consolidate the other landfill with what you've already got.
That's right. I mean, our goal is not to be more of a visual impedance in the community.
Change could be on the horizon, but no matter what's next,